Hey everybody, Kim Hannan here, and I am delighted to be back today for the WHA Symposium. Just a really quick introduction. I'm not going to go into super big details, but I own a float center and salt cave, Sukino Float Center and Salt Cave in Southern Indiana. I also own a boutique agency called Mindful Solutions, helping other float centers, other wellness centers, other halotherapy centers. And I do a lot of work within the industry, the wellness industry, promoting our services, both halotherapy and float therapy. And I'm really trying to help as much as I can to get the word out, working with different organizations who help support small businesses that are doing these things, as well as kind of bigger picture, getting it out to the general public as well. So today I wanted to share some information about creating an organic sales funnel to get people back in the door again. It is a challenge that all small businesses face. And so we have implemented some things at my center that have been very effective, and several of my clients have also basically copied the same model or tweaked it just a little bit. And I wanted to be able to share that with you all in hopes that you can get people in to get a little salty time and time again. So let me share my screen and we'll dive right on in. Boop. Here we go. There we go. All right. So let's talk about getting people to come back in the door for you. First off, let's talk in terms of marketing. There's a conversion funnel, and I'm not going to get too deep into this, but I want to kind of present this concept so you can keep it in mind because it is a very impactful for your guest and membership experience. Basically, there's a whole lot of people in the public world who are completely unaware of what your services are, what dry salt therapy offers, what it is, that there's even a place near them. And then there are people who might be aware of what it is or aware of your particular business. And then you have your customers, your actual guests who come in and spend money with you, who use your services. So it's really important to kind of alter your approach a little bit depending on where they are. What we're going to be talking about today, though, is very specific to the people who are already in your door. We're not going to be talking about promoting halotherapy to the unaware public. We're not going to be talking about it to unaware followers. What we really want to focus on today is once you get them in the door, how do you get them to come back again and again? So there are some challenges that I've seen across the industry, across every wellness industry, and truly across most industries that have anything to do with sales. So 3 big challenges that we see. Number 1 is your team members, your employees may not like doing sales. They may feel like they're being pushy. And on the flip side of that, most people don't like to be sold to. Number 2 is that you might have a team member who just doesn't know how to start a conversation, how to make it feel natural, talking to someone and inviting them to come in and to spend more money on your business. Number 3, people may not even understand what the big deal is about why it's so important to try to have that conversation with every guest as they're leaving your center. Imagine this though, because challenge number 4 is a really big one that I see happening a lot, where people do actually feel comfortable making the offer, but then your guest is totally turned off by the actual offer you make. So it tells me that you're probably not making the right offer. So let's talk about what that actual offer really is. How do you create the offer? So how are we getting them to come back in for another visit? Thinking about specials, thinking about communications, thinking about the way that you have conversations with them. A lot of folks will say that they're going to offer a discount for the first visit, and then people have to pay more for visit number 2. So there's a lot of benefit to getting someone in the door, and a lot of businesses will do that by saying, here, your first visit is X amount less than what we usually offer. It's a great way to get them in, not such a great way to get them to come back again, because suddenly they have to pay more in order to come back. And that they may not see the value yet in doing that. Sometimes people will put together a 3-pack or a 6-pack or whatever, however many visits you want to put in a pack together and offer that as a discounted rate. Well, they've never been in to try your business before. They don't know if it's going to work or not yet. And so spending that much money might be a bit of a put off for them. Another option that a lot of people do is say, you know what, here you go. This is our membership. It's absolutely the best price per visit. You should jump right on in. Again, thinking about somebody who just came in for the first time, they may not feel comfortable yet. And all of a sudden, their first visit is ending with you trying to get them to commit to a membership where they're paying you every single month. All of those have some benefits, but they also have some drawbacks. So what we do is we try to create an enticing offer that is really hard to refuse, but it also promotes wellness as a practice. It promotes dry salt therapy, float therapy, infrared therapy, going to the gym, whatever, acupuncture, whatever it is that you're offering, typically is not a one and done sort of thing. And so helping people to see that it is something that is ongoing. Self-care requires commitment. And so creating some sort of an offer that's going to get them to come back in, but is also hard to refuse. So what could that look like? What we do is you come in for your first one, it's full price, but on your way out the door, we ask you if you'd like to buy your second visit, and we'll give you the third one for free. We do this for every service we offer. So if someone has already come in and used our salt cave before, they've gotten this offer, and then they decide to come in and start floating with us because we offer that service as well, then we'll make that same offer again and say, hey, I noticed this is your first float with us. If you'd like to try it again, come back or go ahead and purchase your second one. You don't have to book it today, but you purchase it. We'll give you your third visit for free. Now, there's a lot of details on what that package can look like. We don't allow them to share it because we want them to experience the benefits of 3 services in a row for themselves. We don't allow mixing and matching of our services, but they are eligible to get a free one of each and every visit. And people like the word free, number one, but number two, it's also allowing us to have a conversation about the benefits of doing something at least 3 times, whether it's floating, whether it's sitting in our salt cave, doesn't matter. We get into that conversation then about, you know, what are their needs? What are their goals? If it's just a little relaxation here and there, they may not need as frequent visits. If they're dealing with a chronic issue, if they're dealing with respiratory illness, if they're dealing with skin conditions, then we can talk about the benefits of repeat exposure. And in that case, we're offering them something that is a really hard thing to refuse. If you buy number 2 today, we'll give you number 3. And we also put a time limit on it because we don't want all those freebies sitting out there. We tell them they have up to 3 months to use both of those. It's a very, very effective offer. Most folks take advantage of that. So it's a great offer, but we still have those major challenges of number 1, 2, 3, and 4 that we'll talk about in a minute. Sometimes that person who doesn't like sales is still going to say, you know what, I don't want to do that. I feel like I'm pushy. They just came in and had a great relaxing experience. I want to let them go without having to make money a part of that conversation. Number 2, you might have somebody who finally knows, like, okay, I need to offer it, but they don't know how to be eloquent or how to be empathetic or caring or a consultant. And they just say something like, hey, you should buy this second one and we'll give you a third one for free. And they just kind of spit it out and it doesn't land well with the recipient. There could be somebody else who's like, yeah, sure, I get it. Like I should talk about it, but I really don't want to. I'd rather just talk to them about their experience. You've got all of those. Number 4, you might have a case where somebody really enjoyed it, but if you don't offer it, they can't say yes. So you still have to come up with ways to, once you have that offer nailed down, to be able to approach your guests in a way that they're going to be receptive and to be able to communicate with your team in a way that they're going to feel confident and comfortable making those offers. So one thing that we do is soft sell touch points. Soft sell touch points are usually pretty subtle. So I'm going to show you some examples of several of them. One, we have orientation videos, orientation materials that we send out to our folks before they come in. And so one of those, we talk about the fact that this is a practice. You'll see the most benefit, the best benefit by doing it at least 3 times in a short window of time, 3 times in a short window. And we put that out there ahead of time so that they already know that there's benefit to doing it more than once. And it doesn't feel like all of a sudden we're just trying to push them to come back again. Number 2, obviously, it's an easy one that a lot of folks do, is offering packages. And so that can be not just, hey, we give you a good deal by doing a package. You talk about it in a way that says, we're helping you with your wellness. In order to do that, we want to make it as affordable as possible, but also a way that you can come back a certain number of times, whatever works for your budget and for your schedule. And you talk about your packages in a way that it is a solution to their problems, not just something that you're trying to sell to them. Hey, if you're still having some allergy issues, it might take a couple more visits. In order to make that a little more affordable for you, we have some packages or we have a monthly membership that might be able to help you reduce the symptoms of your allergies so that you can wake up every day and breathe again. Completely different than just throwing it out as here's a great deal for you, or hey, I want you to buy this. We put it on our website about why they should visit more than once. It's in our communications. They haven't even been in the door yet, but if they're looking at our website and they're learning about our services, we promote the benefits of multiple exposures right there on the website. We also have a very subtle one. It's kind of hard to see in this particular picture, but there's a door hanger. We use doorknob hangers or in-room tent cards. And we have some flyers and things too that I'll show you, but something that they might see, they might not see, and it's okay either way, but something that says, hey, did you enjoy your first visit? If you're interested in coming back, stop by the front desk and we'd love to talk about our intro offer. We have, the character's not pointing at the woman drinking her water, but we have our water station and we always offer water to each guest or hot tea. And then we tell them, when you're finished with your glass, just leave it here in this tray on top of our water cooler. On top of the water cooler is also a little flyer here that says, hey, did you enjoy your first visit? We'd love to offer you a free visit with your second tongue-tied second visit today. And it talks about, again, this is a practice. So wellness is a practice. It's not a one and done. And so the verbiage on there, again, is making the offer in a very subtle way, but talking about it as wellness is a practice. Okay. Then we also can put things like signage up front on our reception desk. We have a TV that's behind us. It's a big digital monitor behind our reception desk. And typically we'll have nice looking scenery or soundscapes or something like that up there. We can also use that to promote a repeat visit as well. So we can put offers up there on the television so that when someone comes out, it's right there. And our team doesn't even necessarily have to say anything about it. There are so many visual cues, and that's really helpful for those employees who haven't found their verbiage or their confidence yet to be able to still promote repeat visits with very little effort. So, and then of course, being able to just say it. It's so important to just come right out and say, hey, I'm so glad you enjoyed that, especially if you hear somebody coming out going like, wow, I can breathe so much easier, or I was really congested earlier and I feel like all of that's gone. That is a key indicator that they are likely going to come back. They recognize the benefits. And so you can say something like, I'm so glad that was helpful for you. If it's something that you think would be beneficial for coming back and for combating these on your allergy issues, breathing issues, whatever. Repeat exposure can also help even more. If you'd like to consider that, you purchase a second visit today and we give you the third one for free. You don't even have to book it today. It's really hard to say no to that, but sometimes they do. And if they say no, we do a follow-up email. We send them an email that says, hey, we noticed you didn't take advantage of our offer to upgrade. Most people notice that they sleep better, feel better, breathe better, whatever you want to put in there. So why don't you sleep on it? And then let us know if you change your mind. I even include a link so they can purchase that upgrade themselves and they don't have to call us or come back in. A lot of people will respond and say, yes, I do want to take care of it. I do want to upgrade to that. I'd like to come back in. And there might be some questions or things there. And it's a great chance to continue that conversation even after someone leaves. If your booking system doesn't have an automated follow-up, mine does allow me to really specify if they didn't purchase another pass before leaving, send this email. But you could easily create a template, keep it saved in your drafts, and then copy paste that in and send an email at the end of the day. So it's not, you don't have to get super high tech with it if you don't have that capacity at your center. Another thing is to offer a low to no commitment. So if you want to continue. And so this is for us, most people will buy that intro package. They paid for number one. And then as they're leaving from number one, we say, if you pay for number two, we'll give you number three for free. So when they come out of number three, they didn't pay for it. They're feeling great. They just had the third visit. It's probably helping them tremendously. They're really starting to enjoy that. And then you can say, if you want to keep this up and make this a part of your self-care strategy or your wellness strategy, we offer a membership program. And we talk about what that membership is and try to make sure that it's really easy. It's not a year-long commitment for people, because that is like, I don't want to do that. A year is really scary. We ask for 3 months, which for most people is really, really easy to accept. And it doesn't sound scary. It's also a really low price compared to everything else. So they're getting those benefits. We still have mindset to deal with. And helping your team, it's really important to have conversations one-on-one if you have employees, to understand what hurdles they may have in making these offers. If they still feel like it's salesy, you can help with that. If they still don't understand the importance of offering to every single guest, unless of course they said that it was terrible and it didn't help them and it was awful, then you don't want to make an offer, because that sounds really awful to do to somebody. But having a conversation with them and helping to understand their mindset and to be able to overcome that. So you might still have an employee who doesn't want to be pushy. They still don't know the right way to engage in a conversation, or they don't understand why it's so important. And so for the first one, you have to think about it, instead of thinking about, I'm trying to sell them something, of recognizing that your service is helping them in some way. And if your service is helping them, then you are also helping them by telling them about an offer that's going to help them continue to feel better. That is not salesy. It's the consultant approach. You have a solution that can help with their problems, but it also means that you care enough about them. You care about their wellness and their well-being to invite them to come back in again. They also, in this case, for my offer, happen to be saving a good portion of money. And so we're helping them to really commit to taking care of themselves. Number two is if someone just doesn't know how to ask. This is usually an issue where it's somebody who's very transactional. They want to get the guest in, get them in service, get the guests out, get them checked out, and back out the door. So it's important for these folks especially to remember that you're dealing with humans. And building rapport starts with your first interaction, whether that's your website, whether that's somebody on the phone. It could be email. It could be any way that you are actually first appearing on their radar and having a connection with them. And again, it could be a digital connection. And that's where your marketing messages can really make a difference. Do you sound like a sales organization? Do you sound like a big company? Do you sound like a corporation? Do you sound like cool humans who live in the area and really want to help other cool humans who live in the area? So really talking to people, understand who they are. Do they have kids? What do they do for a living? Are they stressed out? Why are they coming to see you? And it's so much easier to generate a conversation with complete strangers if you know a little bit about them. If they come in and they say, allergies are awful today, then, and telling them other ways that you know of that can help to reduce allergies could be a great thing. It could be, just asking how they're doing. If they've been in to see you for one service, ask how they felt the last time they were in. How's life been? If you happen to remember that they have a dog, how's, Fido doing? Talking to people as people. Of course, names are very powerful. And if you can either recognize someone, or if maybe they're the only person who should be coming in right now, greet them by name. Don't say, what was your name? Of course, there are times we're going to ask somebody because we have several choices about who's coming in. But if you can figure out who they are, hey, Jan, it's so great to see you again. Or welcome back. We're really excited you're here today. Having some kind of a human interaction before you get to the go back, we're ready for you. Let's get you in. Such a huge thing. And then you use that information in the conversation later when you're talking about it. Hey, I remember you said your schedule's a little bit crazy. And so if you'd like to try to prioritize a little more time for yourself, you can come back again if you purchase your second session today. We give you the third one for free, and we know your schedule's a little busy, so we give you 3 months to use those. Do you think you could do that? Or does that sound interesting to you? You can ask some questions and then be prepared for people to say no, and know that it's not personal if they do. And, the same thing for the person who doesn't really get the big deal about why it's so important to invite people to come back, remind them that you're a small business. And if they aren't inviting people to come back, then they won't. And if they don't come through the door, we don't make enough money to pay them. And then if we don't make enough money to pay them, they're going to be out of a job. And it's not a threat. It's just reminding them that small businesses and organizations like ours really do rely on us as humans to be able to connect with each other and for us to be able to make an offer that is helpful to our guests and our members. And so it's not about threatening them. It's just helping them to see every time you offer someone the chance to come back, you increase the success of our business. And as you increase the success of our business, we're increasing the health and wellness of our community and strengthening your career and your job stability here. It's a very positive thing when you put it that way. Now, how do you motivate people? Of course, there's the option to do things like commissions. Some places do this where if you have an upgrade, someone, purchase a package, the upgrade offer that we have, or if there's a membership structure that you offer, your team could get a small commission for that. Again, reminding them it's not really about that sales piece, but it's about this cycle of getting people to really prioritize their wellness, to feel better, to bring their best selves into the community, and reminding them that you're part of something that is really big and you're taking care of your community. So I hope these have been some really helpful tips. I am happy to answer any other questions that you may have. I'm, of course, watching through the chat, but if you have questions, feel free to email me at kim@mindful with 2 L's .solutions. There's no .com. I know it's a little weird, but I'm happy to chat about this stuff. You can also find me on Facebook or Instagram on my Mindful Solutions pages and send me messages there. And then I have a group called the Halo Therapy Collective on Facebook. Please join there. Lots of questions get answered not just by me, but by the community at large. It's a really great place to find some help and hopefully increase your own returning guests and create that organic sales funnel. Hope you have a wonderful day and stay salty out there.